it's your guy Mark Papers back for another episode of Gelato Talk, the highest podcast on YouTube, where we mix the gelato with the vibrations and we get the harmony. You already know. Nice to have y'all back in, locked in with me. You know what I'm saying? I love shooting this. One of my favorite things to do. And, I took a little break, but we back locked in. I don't want to dwell on that. I personally took a break. It wasn't a money thing. It was more, I wanted to get my mind right. And I had a lot of new opportunities that I wanted to explore truly, and not really, what I'm saying, have everyone influence, what I was thinking. So yeah, that's where I've been at. Nothing too complex. I'm gonna light this up. What would be Gelato Talk without the bud? That's why I love YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? They let you, at least light up on cam. You can't really do that on TikTok. I do go live on TikTok if you want to check out my stream there. Well, a lot's been going on lately. The World Cup just ended. Spain won. So I'm sporting my Spain jersey. Shout out to them. They took it over France, right? And it was a great tournament. Shout out to all the teams that participated. Shout out to all the teams. I'd love to see Guyana get a team one year, but I was rooting for Haiti a lot. They went far. I rooted for Mexico. I rooted for Japan. I rooted for Argentina. Messi from Miami, well, Venezuela, but he plays for Miami. And a lot of teams, man. I like the game, the competition. Soccer's an amazing sport. It's a defensive game. I like baseball as well, cricket. I like games that sometimes it's not about score the most. It's not about who get the most points. Sometimes a game that's a lot mental and is trying to stop your opponent from scoring, that's a really good game. That's a man's game because you gotta focus. You ain't gonna be using too much motions, and you're not gonna probably deviate from your strategy. That's me. Like when I come into a game, I like to have a strategy, and even if I come into the game and you get the ball first and you score right away, or you just do something that I know I tried to stop that. I'm still going with my game plan. I'm gonna think, all right, you used, you just got like a lucky one, or you break out energy, but for the most part, I know how to stop you. Even if I never played you before, I know a way that I know how to stop overall what you're trying to do based on the game, right? Like if it's basketball, okay, well, I'm gonna take away your guards from shooting. I'm gonna try to stop you from getting open threes. And I'm gonna contest every shot. In football, we're gonna put pressure on your quarterback. We're gonna bump your receivers up the line. We're gonna press up. Like it's just different ways in every sport, right? In soccer, we're gonna build like a nice tight wall, right? So my goalkeeper is not gonna be the only one trying to defend all of these shots that you're throwing up. You're gonna have to get by 4, 5, 6 defenders just to get a shot off. Like what I'm saying? Like we're not letting you shoot. That's why I think Messi win over England was so decisive, because they really, you could tell they tried to stop him from scoring. He still scored. You can't stop a scorer from scoring. Like it is what it is. Some players put a strong emphasis on how much points they're going to put up during the game, how much they're going to be able to score every game, how much they're going to be able to, put up. Like they don't even look at their stats. Like they look at the end of the game, like, oh, how much I had? Oh shit, damn, well I missed that many shots. Like they look at how much they missed, but they scored. Like you're not going to hold Kevin Durant to 10 points. don't put up mad shots. Well, maybe I could, because I'm defense minded. But there's a lot of other stuff going on too. Speed. Um, the streamer, shout to Speed. I don't know him personally, but I followed his journey from since he came out from TikTok, and then he went to Twitch, and then he's just ESPN worldwide. This man, I don't want to say kid. This man, it goes everywhere around the world, different countries. No fear. Still the same person. Didn't change up. Didn't switch up. Still achieving his goals, right? Not just everything you will want to see from someone that we deem as these celebrities. He did everything the right way, and I really appreciate that, because I want to do it that same way. Like, I'm a G. How I move is a certain way. Like, I can't come in the room and then just start acting quiet or acting small. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person I'm gonna be, not stating my opinion. I'm not the type of person that I'm gonna try to be number 2 or 3. Yo, when my album drop, I would expect it to be number 1. The number 1 album that's dropping across all genres, right? Like, I expect my album, like, I'm gonna submit it to the Grammy board so they could review it, so I can get nominated. I'm not making music or anything for that, rather, that's just subpar, right? Because if it doesn't get the right accolades, well, I'm gonna look back and say, well, yeah, I didn't even go hard. It wasn't my best work, right? But if it's my best work and then it's not solidified or validated, yeah, that's fine. That's fine, to a degree. If it hurt my pockets, well, I'm gonna make sure I make stuff that you can make stuff that you can absorb and digest better. That's on me as a creator. I'm giving you too much stuff that my mind's going too far, and it's like no one fucks with this. You go into lupe. No pun intended. Digestible. That's a key, right? How well it is for someone to understand what you're trying to show them. Can they appreciate it? Is it appreciable? It's always on the artist, right? Basquiat, great at that. James Haring, great at that. Keith Haring, great at that. I like those 2 right there. Those 2 examples. Just the shapes they use. Just yeah, it looks like elementary school, but you could get it if you're an adult, and if you're in elementary school, you always would get it. That's a good thing I do. A great place to be. Got enough talent to showcase probably a lot, but you just want to make sure that you showing people a good presentation, a good portrait, right? Like, I'm gonna draw a portrait of a bird, so I want this bird to look like a crane, and I want this crane to be purple, and I want the crane to be very large in the picture, and I want it to be flying because I want them to show movement, right? There's a vision I have in my mind that I need to execute so you could see it, right? That's the great exchange, the beauty of art, when it works. When the artist understands that I need the viewer to view this art, to validate it. Validation is it's been abused, right? It's been abused so much that it turned to clout. But if you dial back for a second to validate also means to accept, like validate my parking. Can you verify verification? Can you verify that I'm the real Mark Papers? So can I get a blue check on my Instagram, right? Can you validate that my work is reputable? It's actually a real song. So can you put a review on it? That's all it is. That's all you really want. Then people could go from there. You know, people need to have something to start with. Otherwise, what are you giving them? You're not giving them nothing. You're giving them much. So shout out to all the creators. Streamer University sounds like a great. What's going on there is good. You know, Kai's back. Good for him. I'm back streaming. And you got a lot of streamers, university, but it's the same thing. Any league, any game you try to get in, you got to start from the underground where nobody knows. So you competing with mostly yourself, but also underground people that people don't know as well. Once you graduate, there's another league. There's a college league or a practice league, and then there's a big league, NBA, NFL. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the division winners and the division leaders and the playoffs and the championship winners, right? There's different ways that you need to enter and then compete, right? So you got to know where you're competing at. And when you look at Streaming University, a lot of those individuals, some rise to the cream of the crop. It's Pareto. Everything you're gonna do in life is gonna be the Pareto principle. 20% of the action is gonna lead to 80% of the results. You know what I'm saying? That's how you need to look at it. Don't expect that everything gonna just come and everybody gonna be the same. Anyone that follows me, anybody's a real hustler, you know that you ain't trying to be the same. That's the whole point. I don't want to be the same as everybody else. I don't want to be looked at as the same, judged as the same, and people, put me in the same categories. No. It's a lot of things I don't even I don't attend again. I don't go back to it. I don't go there. For what? I don't want people to think I'm part of this thing or keep seeing me there and stuff. No, I'm not a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I have my own thing that I'm very proud of and I'm working on, and it's doing very well. That's the way I always move, with top 5 in mind. If I partner with someone, it's a partnership. But for the most part, I'm not partnering nothing. I'm just doing my own top 5 thing. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I got still pumping the last 2 records. Got What You Need. That one just came out, and then Creed Cologne. My 2 singles for the year. I might do a video, but unless my budget opens up, which I foresee soon, and I get a better studio, that's when I'll drop more records. And also when my viewership increases. Like I got a nice fan base, but I'm looking to grow more. I'm looking to add more people and real fans, not people that just subscribe to my YouTube and then never watch my videos. Hey, there's a lot of people in this world, and most of the time what I see is always people that they want to block you from getting to where you're really trying to get to, or for people to rock with you that would rock with you. Like I know that my fans are out there. I know my music and my DNA connects with so many people already. Like we think alike, we feel alike, they vibe with me. So why aren't they in my circle? Well, they can't find me. They're being obscured by different things, social media, the gateways, but also people blocking it, the energy blocking it, people not wanting you to get to where you're getting to, because quite frankly, they're not going nowhere, right? So it used to bug me out, like, oh, why people do that? Because that's they rather you not going nowhere with them, then they see you take off and they still there. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, all right, well, fuck it. I might as well just stop somebody else too. You know, it's backwards logic when you're someone like a creator, you know, someone that's a manifester. But you know, for somebody else, hey, that's what they do. You know, I make sure I keep my foot on their neck. I keep my elbows up. I keep all my guards up. I keep my, because I'm not gonna let any, if anyone's gonna stop me or slow me down, it's going to be me. You know, it's not gonna be someone else that I let mess up my whole junction for what? Like, why would I even? I don't see why I would let that happen. It makes no sense. That's where you gotta be. You always gotta defend yourself in this world. You know, you know, if people want to just bug out and not take heed to that, then hey, what are you gonna do? I don't let people dictate to me how I feel about things, right? The way I feel about something is how I take it, you know, how I process it, my emotions towards it, my logic towards it, and the actions I take after that. Those are all on me, you know. Unless they directly affecting you, you can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'll have a right to behave how I want in any situation. Everyone does. It's all about respect. Are you letting the person respect you, or you're respecting yourself? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end with this. Wayne Gretzky said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." I agree. I take a lot of shots. I post a lot of content. I do a lot of work because the more chance I give myself, the more chance it is for me to be successful, and the less ability I'm gonna have of fucking complaining, because I know I put the work in. So if however it goes, I feel good because I put the work in. Like I'm happy when I put the work in. I'm the happiest when the work's put in. I'm happy when the results come. That's fucking, that's lit. But when I put the work in, I'm I'm satisfied. That my contentness, my contentment lays there. You already know. See Guy Mark Papers. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tap in for the next episode of Gelato Talk. You already know. Get you.